us used to be in the club. King, who's the king? 12 tribes, 12 tribes. Some of us used to be in the club.
All right, there you.
All right, Shalom. This is Hara One by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. Want to say Call Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Hawashai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. And Shalom to Iuic and Agwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. This is going to be a quick lesson dealing with this topic with Iuic. Yeah, they all over social media right now. Being talked about in the news. They're like a hot topic. What they call trending. But I'm going to get a couple scriptures that came to mind, or that come to mind when you saw them marching around the Barkley'S Center, like they were marching around Jericho or something, dealing with Kyrie Irving, right? It was like thousands. They said it was tens of thousands of them. You know, they come to Jake. If it's more than 20, they're gonna say it's thousands. If it's more than 1,000, they're gonna say it's 10,000. If it's 10,000, they're gonna say it's hundreds. It was hundreds of thousands of them. You know, too many so-called black people in one area at once. Right? But I want to get a couple scriptures dealing with this topic, man, and dealing with them as a camp. You know, a lot of us, you know, knowing that you're an Israelite, this is the bitter with the sweet. You know, it's sweet that, yeah, we don't know that you're Israelites. We want people to know. But it's bitter when you see who's the one stepping out there doing it. It's the entry-level camp, Iuic. And we know them to be hypocritical, you know, commanding and demanding in the law, but they don't keep the law themselves, going off on doctrine, doing spectacle moves like this right here, you know, just for to be seen in the eyes of men. But it's all part of us getting out of here, man. It's all part of the end, you know. And it, matter of fact, I'm gonna start off with this one. Let me get this real quick. All right, this is Genesis 49 and 9. It says, Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him, man? All right, and that's what times we're in, where Judah is being roused up. The Lord is rousing up Judah first, and Benjamin, and maybe Levi, right, parts of Levi. So the Lord is rousing them up first, man. And that's why you got these Khazars pushing this narrative all over the media, showing their hidden hand, showing the power that they have to take away the wealth from certain entertainers, letting them know that about the, let me get that, all right, because Judah is a lion's whelp, meaning a young lion, or, you know, look at all them brothers out there, Iuic. Look at Kyrie Irving, look at Kanye. You know, they're young compared to, you know, a 50-year-old or something, a 60-year-old. But usually in the times of war, I think the age would be 21 to about 40. All right, so that's why they're going after them. I saw this in the interview the other day. They were saying that too. That's why they're going after that generation, or our generation, because around this age, that's the age that people would go to war. All right, or have an uprising. They say you get a bunch of women together, the government ain't worrying about it, but you get a bunch of men together, they know it's a revolution amidst. All right. So I'm gonna get this too. So it said Judah is a lion's whelp, man. I mean, a young lion. All right, from the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, and couched as a lion. See that? That's that putting Jake to sleep. Especially with Obama, the civil rights movement, all this put Jake to sleep after the civil rights movement. It gave Jake some rights, gave him some money, some hush money, a career, fame, and Jake just feel comfortable in this society. But now the Lord is rousing up their spirit. It says what? And as an old lion, who shall rouse him? Like an old lion that has no might and no strength. You know? So they've got waxing old in this place. Got used to it. It's called being stuck in their ways. A young brat. Acting like an old lion. An old lion has no strength to kill or to attack the prey. I'll say in this sense to fight, all right? Because we're not trying to kill. I'm talking about in the sense of a lion. But ours would be to fight spiritually. And Jake feels like they have no power. They don't have no. Look at Kyrie Irving, man. They call him turncoat. He said he didn't give up his beliefs, but at the same time, he's apologizing over and over again. The demand list is getting longer. Every time he apologizes, they're like, well, he got to do this next. He got to get educated as well. He got to donate money. He got to do all this. Taking away freedom of speech in the process. Showing that money overrides their law. All they got to do is make a call and they could change things like it's nothing. In front of everybody, called doing them lashings. Who was that? Somebody said it the other day. They're like, you know, like with slavery, they would bring the proud slave out into the front, the slave that was speaking up or that was rebelling. They would bring him out front, whip him in front of everybody, and they'd give him a certain amount or number of lashes. Just like they're telling these entertainers they got to do a certain amount of apologies or punishments or strikes to be able to continue their entertainment, keep their money deals going, protecting those Khazar Jews, which they're not really Jews, man. All right, they're not the real Jews. Jew is an acronym of Judah. It's the tribe of Judah, and especially during the Roman Empire, they called all Israel Jews. All right, basing it upon the circumcision, the Israelites, the Jews in Jerusalem. All right, so but that really represents Judah, the tribe of Judah, and Esau is not Judah. So I'm gonna keep going, man, with the spirit. I'm gonna get Amos chapter 5:23. This is Amos 5:23. Right, because they were busy singing them damn songs, right? Mama, mama, can't you see? Gonna get the kingdom and we're gonna rule. Huh. The Lord ain't dealing with that, man. I told a few brothers, I said, yo, I watched Iuic, I watched their Passover. And they came out, he said, yo, we about to do a prayer. Everybody keep quiet for the prayer. And when it came time for the prayer, they started singing the military chants, man. You know? The Lord ain't dealing with that. This is Amos 5:23. Take away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows, man. So he ain't listening to this hip-hop, rap music. He not listening to none of this, these chants, this gospel music. The Lord not dealing with none of that. The Lord want his song, meaning this truth, without music. You know, of course you can sing it with music too, like King David did, but at the end of the day, right now, it doesn't take music to do it. You know, what's a song without music is a poem. And that's what we're dealing with, Psalms as well, right? So it says here, take away from me the noise of thy vows, the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows, man. So the Lord ain't listening to that. We gonna rule in the kingdom, marching around the Barkley'S Center like it's Jericho or something, or like your Yahushua in there or something, man. It's damn Kyrie Irving. The Lord said, "What? Be no respecter of persons in judgment." Let's get that. Let me get this real quick. This is that's right. I'm gonna go to the New Testament real quick with it. All right, go to the Old Testament. Proverbs 24 and 21. My son, fear thou Yahweh, and that's our goal, is to show the fear of the Most High. We fear Yahweh, right? And by showing His fear, you're going out doing His work. It says, fear Yahweh, not Esau, but fear Yahweh and the King, all right, Yahweh Shai, and meddle not with them that are given to change, man. Don't meddle with Jake that is given to change. All right, flip-flopping, lukewarm. And our goal is not to go out and protect Kyrie Irving. Our goal is to teach this doctrine. Now, they out there chanting and yelling and hooting and hollering and making a scene, a spectacle. But at the same time, when you ask them the name of the Lord, they say Christ. That's what Iuic says, Israelites United in Christ. So people thought they was a damn fraternity with their colors and the marching. Those are burdens that the Lord said we're not supposed to cast on our brethren right now. That's not the goal. The goal is to teach this truth. And they're not doing that. All of that, but no truth came out. Except for like, hey, that we Israelites. And we gotta keep the laws. Through the laws we're going to rule. It's like, no, we're not gonna be saved by the laws. That's off, man. You can read Romans Galatians chapter 3, Galatians chapter 4. You can read Romans chapter 9. That whole chapter, it breaks down that through the laws, we're not going to be delivered. We got to keep the laws. That's what should be our lifestyle. We should love the laws, but at the same time, tell the truth that through Yahweh Shai we're delivered. Not through the laws like Iuic like to teach. They need to be out there saying, hey, turn back to Yahweh. Turn back to Yahweh Shai. And believe in His Son, Yahweh Shai, man. They're not saying that. They're just out there saying Christ this, ruling. It's like a militant vibe, or Pharisee. All right? You see, most of them got edge-ups. You got them Krispy Kreme edge-ups. Look at this dude right here. That John right there, a little crisp. Sharpies. And this guy, he doesn't know anything. As far as history, they might know something. As far as the basics of history, like the milk. But when it comes to the spirit, they don't understand the scriptures, man. All right, all that was for naught. It was a show. Because the Lord is still looking for 144,000 and 1/3 of the men, women, and children. Period. He's not dealing with the average Jake just because their bloodline go back to Israel. All right. What was that? Proverbs 24 and 23. No, actually, 22. For their calamity shall rise suddenly, and who knoweth the ruin of them both, man? You know. So these celebrities, man, their calamity is rising up suddenly, and the Lord trying to rouse their spirit up, and And instead, they get on national TV and they begin to cop a plea and trim their ways to seek love. To seek that money, serving God and mammon. The Lord says you can't do that. This is why. Perfect example. You can't serve God and mammon. You can't serve Yahweh and this world. You gotta be willing to love one and hate the other. Yeah, you're gonna get your daily bread. Money shall be used as a defense. But at the same time, if you're in a position, he say, don't think ahead what thou shalt speak. The Spirit gonna speak for you. What's that? The Spirit of truth. Not like Kanye, we're talking about he's speaking from his heart. The Lord said you're not supposed to follow your heart. Kyrie Irving, he trimmed his ways. I apologize. I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm not this. I'm not. It's like, man, Then he Muslim. And then Iuic was out there, and then Kyrie Irving, he's like, I don't. The reporter asked Kyrie Irving, hey, you know about those guys out there in purple garments marching around the Barkley's Center, supporting you and your beliefs? And he was like, nah, I don't know about them. So it says, these things also belong to the wise. It is not good to have respect of persons in judgment. So, and you see Iuic, they're called the apostles, they're called the Akim bums, because they respect money. They think gain is godliness. All right? They're huddling up around Kendrick Lamar, all these celebrities. That's what they want. The fame, the notoriety, not deliverance, not Yahweh, the truth to come out. None of these people ever get on the media or TV and just say his name, man. There was a guy in the past named Masha Ba'ala. They call him Element. Used to be the head of the Dallas camp. When he fell off and fell out the truth, he got on Alex Jones and he didn't say the Lord's name once. It's like, yo, what is wrong with these people, man? What the hell is wrong with these people? I mean, I know they blind, but damn. All right. So we're not supposed to be going out there surrounding the Barkley's Center for the return of Kyrie Irving and the show of support for somebody that don't want your support. Our job is to reach the elect with the doctrine. They went on the highways and byways marching. But the thing is, man, they can't do nothing against the truth but for the truth, so it's all good at the end of the day. Still pushing that mindset of Israelites, and that's a good thing. That's a precursor or a entry level for some to wake up to the fact that they're Israel. But going to Iuic, they're gonna make them two more times the child of hell. This is Exodus 23:13. Exodus 23:13. And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect, man. Keep your head on the swivel. And pay attention to what's going on. And make no mention of the name of other gods, man. Neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. And that's all you hear out of Iuic's mouth. Christ. Going back to that Elamite deity, Christos, Krishna. All right, the Lord's name, Father's name is Yahweh, his Son's name is Yahushua. Not no damn Christ. That's some idol, And the Lord said those names not supposed to be coming out of our mouth, and that's all you heard in that chant. They was just yelling it out around the Barkley's Center. All people hearing is Christ, what? Christ, what? It's like, yeah, church folk could join right in. Where's the separation? Shit, man. It's Matthews. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. I saw it. I'm nobody, but still, I saw it. I wasn't impressed. I saw them marching around. It's like, all right, what they gonna do now? What are they marching like an army for? What are they gonna do? Who they gonna beat up? They standing in solidarity, okay, but they up to singing the wrong name, giving the people a foundation of sand instead of a foundation of the rock. Yahushua. They going out there with a damn sand lot talking about, hey, who want to play? We got this sand lot for you, Kyrie. You can stand on it, and you won't fall. What are they going to do? So this is Matthews 23 and 2. Or 1. Then spake Yahushua to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees, they sit in Moses' seat, man. All right, all you heard from them was the law. This is about the law. The law this, the law that. It sounds just like Iuic. All right? And you had some good ones and you had some wicked ones. You know? You had some good scribes. You had some good Pharisees. But you also had a lot of the wicked ones that was willing to put somebody to death for the law, that was telling people they had to be circumcised to be delivered, that was selling out to the Roman Empire around the time of John and Yahushua and Paul and Peter. The same ones are back here today in that same mindset, selling out to the government, 501c3 charter, pushing the wrong doctrine. As soon as you walk up, they're like, the law this, the law that, instead of about Yahushua, man. See that? They disregard Yahushua. They swallow a camel and strain out a net. They treat the weightier matters non-important, and the serious matters that they should focus on, they treat non-important, and they focus on the things that don't matter, right? The little things, instead of the big and important matters, which is the Lord's name. All right, so it's all a spectacle. All therefore, whatsoever they bid you observe, right? If they tell you to keep the law, yeah, of course we love the law. We want to keep the law to the best of our ability. But do not ye after their works, for they say and do not, man. They'll tell you to keep the law, but then they all got edge ups. Or they or whatever else they're dealing with, you know. But I know for a fact they go off on doctrine, and they're not operating under the law of faith, which is faith in Yahushua. All right. Verse 4. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, man. So they bind heavy burdens upon the Gentiles, which is Israelites. And they bind heavy burdens upon each other, have them marching. No, brother, you got to march correctly. You got to about face at the same time. And all. There's no need for all that. Unless we're going to physical war, this is about spiritual. We want to be in sync, in unison, spiritually, teaching the same doctrine. All right, watching the same prophecies about the MOTB. See, they're not warning people about that. All of those, look at all them people out there. That's the wide gate that the Lord was talking about. All right, that lead us to destruction. Buying up all the goddamn fringes in America. Back to this again, huh? Can't find the fringes anywhere in the city. Iuic got them. Get your fringes up. All right, so it says here, so they bind heavy burdens, man, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers, right? They ain't gonna go out to the ghettos and fight for Jake. They out there marching like they doing something. No, we supposed to go out there as sheep amongst wolves, go out there and teach. They showing up with a damn 1,000-man army. Looking like they ready for physical war, like Iuic. That's right. It was like, yo, shit don't make no sense. I mean, you're not expecting them to be cowards, but it should be done correctly. You know, it's beautiful to see brothers united, but they united in the name of Christ, which is not the Lord's name, man. Ah, man. Who cares that we Israel, man? It's all about Yahushua. We're not Israelites until Yahushua, until we in the spirit of Yahushua. That's what make us Israelites. That's what make us Yasha Allah. He is a prince with power. Other than that, we have no power. Other than that, we just in darkness. Still amongst the congregation of the dead, increasing the Gentiles. All right, either that or the falsehoods of the circumcision, because that's what they represent, the circumcision, man. We represent the circumcision, but it's physical and spiritual with us. The spiritual circumcision is what the Lord is looking for. All right. So they're not gonna tell Kyrie Irving that. What's that? Matthew 23:6 or 5. But all their works, they do for to be seen of men. That's what this is about. They just want to be seen. They want to be the first. But the Lord said the first shall be last and the last shall be first. All right. So they do all their works to be seen of men, man. Everything is a spectacle. You know, with that boy Nate Satan, man. Look at his Passovers. Look at the clothing he wearing, the fucking gold ninja and shit. The gold outfit, the shit, the reflective stuff on, man. Looking like the shy lights out there. All that had the Lord said that, man. They wear fancy garments and love sitting in the uppermost seats. All right. So it says here, but all their works they do to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their garments, man. See that? Everything is fancy to them. Everything is fancy and it's a big show to them, man. Like the Mama's Parade and shit. And they love what? The uppermost rooms at the feast. And the chief seats in the synagogue. Every time you see them, they're sitting up high or over their congregation. That dude, Deacon Asaph, he's no deacon, he's no prophet. Looking like Howard the Duck. All right. So they love the uppermost seats at the feast and the chief seats in the synagogue. These are all signs that the Lord told us to look for spiritually, man. But they're them same ones. And what that was just a shit show, man. That's it. Giving all them people something to do. Let's go out there and show our numbers, how many we got. And the Lord's not dealing with that. Out of all them thousands of IUIC members, there's probably only a few elect up in there. All right, Proverbs 28:20. All right, a faithful man shall abound with blessings, man. Being faithful to Yahushua. But he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be innocent. And all of them have made haste to be rich. All right, and we get our innocency through Yahushua, man. Not because you got money, that don't make you wicked. But it's just, the Lord said it's hard for a rich man to enter into heaven because they're going to be too busy. They're going to be corrupted. They're going to be swayed. They're going to have to trim their ways to seek love. They're going to alter their doctrine so they can get that 501c3 charter. You know. It says here. It says to have respect of persons is not good, man. See, they love these celebrities, but they don't respect their brothers that's in the truth. That's out there teaching on the street. They call the elders and them apostles and all them. They call them rapists. But when it comes to Kyrie Irving, they willing to risk it all, throw it all away, go out there and march around the Barkley's Center. All right. It says to have respect of persons is not good, for a piece of bread that man will transgress. All right. So these people that selling their soul for a morsel of bread for that money. Just a piece of the pie. They ain't even getting the whole pie. Yahushua is offering us the whole pie, man. But Esau gonna give you a little crumb. A few million. And Jake feel like they made it. Alright, let me get this real quick. This is Ecclesiastes 9 and 16. It says, then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Just like wisdom is better than rubies, is better than money. As we can see, right? Being in this truth, that's way better than all the riches in the world. Being damn weightlifters and shit, having mighty armies. This wisdom is way better than all of that. Because that's our direct connection to the Creator, to the Father, Yahweh. Through His Son, Yahushua. Alright, and is able to lead us to eternal life. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised. See that? They despise the poor man's wisdom. But I bet you if Kyrie Irving or Kanye started talking to Iuic, they'd be quiet. Show that passive aggressiveness with them. This is deep, man. Alright, but the poor man's wisdom is despised, man. For everybody listening to Kyrie Irving and Kanye. And his words are not heard, man. They don't even want to hear it. They're like, get them out of here. They hear one of our brothers' videos pop up on the media, they like dismiss it. They don't even want to talk about it. Because they don't want it to become a topic. They don't want the truth to be heard. Remember that? There was somebody going around writing Yahushua is returning in different places, and they were calling that anti-Semitism. Remember that years ago? Some of the things have come full circle. Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. 9 and 16. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. The words of wise men are heard in quiet, more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools, man. All right, so that's that the lion's whelp. They're like young lions crying out, but it's in foolishness. And also that's why they like, oh man, look at them Jakes, look at them black men standing together. If we stand together, see, it ain't gonna never happen until the end, until the Lord say so. Jake ain't coming together until the Lord say so, man. And we in that time, but it ain't gonna be because of Iuic. All right, that's right. So the wise man is heard in quiet, man. That's what this is about. Not out in the damn Barkley's Center, all over the media. It's gonna happen. We pray that we can be heard on the media, but that's not what this is about. The Lord want to reach the elect. All right. Spectacles is not gonna make the Lord hurry up and show up. You know, doing demonstrations of numbers and power is not, physical power like a bunch of men. That's not gonna do it. The Lord said we're gonna stand together. He said, if 2 or 3 are gathered in His name, He's in the midst. You don't need all them numbers, man. The Lord doeth well with small numbers. They could have had 3 men out there, and that'd have been enough if they was in the spirit of truth. And really, you can only need 1. All right. So the wise man's wisdom is heard in quiet, in solemn assemblies. That's where the wisdom is going to be heard at. Out there, it's not going to be heard. They're going to be focusing on the spectacle. You know, on the highways and byways, man, you're going to have people watching. Some watch for edification, some watch for entertainment or whatever. But to do it because of celebrity, that's not the will of the Father, man. That's being respected persons. You know, Kyrie come back today, y'all. Let's go out there and show him we got numbers. Show him my support. The words of the wise men are heard in quiet more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools, man. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroyeth much good, right? So wisdom is better than weapons of war. So if you want to fight the battle, it gotta be through the wisdom. And they're not out there fighting with wisdom, man. They're using the wisdom of the laws, but that's not gonna deliver us. All right, and they don't even have wisdom in that. Iuic. But we've been blessed with true wisdom from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and that's what greater than any weapon of war, any sword, any gun. So we don't need that to win the battle we're fighting. You may need it to protect your house and things like that, but you don't need it to fight this warfare that we're fighting. Like Sakari and them out there with guns and all that. You don't need that. All right. This is Sirach chapter 9 verse 16. And let just men. Wait, let me see where was that. Oh, 13. Salaki. Sirach 13, 16. All flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like, man. See that? They about that money. That's why he cleaving to him. They like, yo, go out there and show Kyrie we with him. We support him. Yeah, they cleave to their like. What can the rich deal with the poor? That's why they call us bums. Because we didn't take that route of a 501c3 charter, or with these churches, we didn't take that route of getting a degree or certification. No, we certified and degreed through Yahushua, man. We didn't go the Masonic route and all that wicked shit. These college universities to get a degree in teaching or something just to come out here and teach. The Lord don't need that. Men of the Lord don't need that. All right. I don't believe we should make a brand out of this truth or money off of this truth. There may be some people out there that give alms to others. That's different. But to make a business out of it, a hustle out of it, no. Our business is dealing with the spirit of truth. That's the talents. That's the money. The word. The token of faith. And I didn't see that out there. I saw a bunch of people, a bunch of men, but no spirit of truth. You know? says, what fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb, so the sinner with the godly? What agreement is there between the hyena and a dog? And what peace between the rich and the poor? See, Kyrie ain't gonna try to deal with their ass, man. He's trying to deal with them rich folks. Just like Nate not trying to deal with the apostles. Because he consider us poor. He's looking at them bums out there in the corner wearing them garments. But they wearing, what do you call it? Fraternity looking uniforms. Got them in uniforms. And the Lord said we're supposed to be teaching with garments. Covered in sackcloth. Yahushua taught with a garment down to his foot. We're supposed to be like him. Alright. It says here, what agreement, so verse 19, as the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor. As the proud hate humility, so doeth the rich abhor the poor, man. So the proud, they hate humility. Instead, they got to do spectacles like this. That's Jake. And also Esau, man. They hate humility. Just like the wicked of our people, Jake, they hate humility. They love pride. You know? Going out there teaching in regular garments, they hate that. They call that poor or bums. You tell people they got to speak the truth. Don't sign these 501c3 charters. It's going to limit your speech, your freedom of speech. They frown upon that. All right. Verse 22. Verse 21. A rich man beginning to fall is held up of his friends, man. That's what Kyrie and them is all being held up of his friends. Iuic want to be his friend. They trying to hold him up. And he back on the basketball court. He ain't worrying about none of that. He ain't trying to be no freedom fighter. Fighting for salvation. He's not desiring a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. He's not looking for that. He's looking for Islam. And his bank account to stay right. He said, yeah, man, how can I be anti-Semitic when I know who I am? People thought he was saying he was Shemitic. No, he was saying in his neighborhoods, when he grew up around a lot of Khazars. And he had them as his friends. So he's saying, how can he be anti-Semitic when he grew up around them? That's what he was saying. So he's not standing for the truth, man. All right. When a rich man is fallen, he have many friends and helpers. He speaketh things not to be spoken. See that? They get out there saying F you Jews. You know? Now look, losing them contracts. But now on the real note, they're speaking false doctrine. And people are listening to it. Kyrie Irving, Kanye West, Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, all the rich men and people listening to that. Heaping into themselves teachers having itching ears. Getting pulled with every wind of doctrine, whichever way. No, I mean, everybody believe what they want. You got your own truth. No, there's only one truth. One God and his son. Yahweh and Yahweh. One doctrine. All right? So they out there speaking falsehoods. And yet men justify him, man, see? And men justify him because of their riches. They justify him because of their talent. All right? Or where they from. Instead of rebuking them. Saying, hey, Kyrie Irving, you still going off. We can't stand with you. We stand for the truth. We don't stand with him. Because he is a celebrity. They extol it to the cloud. What's like it? The poor man slipped and yet they rebuked him too. So a poor man slip his tongue or slip financially, and they get on you. You know, they call you rapist, they call you all kind of shit, man. But what's his name? Kyrie Irving, them slip up. They can say whatever they want, going up there talking about Islam or anything. Kanye West standing with what was his name, man? That damn rock and roll demon. I can't remember his name right now, but he's standing with all these pagans, but people don't care. You know. So it says here, and yet they rebuked him too. All right. So it says, the poor man slipped, and yet they rebuked him too. He spake wisely and could have no place, man. All right. So the poor man, us, we can't find no place in this damn society because it's not made for us. You know, we can't find no place on YouTube. All right. But the elect are still being woken up. How about that? Ain't that something? The Lord know how to move the water through the mountains and through the hills and through the cities. The same way he replenished the earth after the flood. The same way he's moving and coursing his waters and rivers and streams in this dry place to reach his elect. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith. They extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? They walk by you on the street and be like, who the hell is that teaching on the corner? Or teaching out there in the street. But the rich man, the person that got a lot of members, the person that got a lot of money, they got a LLC with the camp, or 501c3 charter, or church, physical buildings and shit, temples. People respect that. All right. Or they got $1 million or $1 billion. That's what America's based off of. You know, you meet somebody, you say you got a job. You know, depending on what type of job you got, how much you make, that's what they rate you off of, as far as how they treat you. You know. They extol it to the clouds, man. I seen a post earlier. They called Charleston White and what's his name, Kyrie Irving, Lord. They called him Lord and Savior. They was being sarcastic, but the fact that they even said it on these media sites. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? Like, who the hell are these people? If he stumble, they will help to overthrow him, man. All right, they be right out there with you, man. When you out there teaching, you'll see Jake or Iuic, whoever, man, yelling at you with the police. Esau right there getting at you, trying to fight you, and you'll see Jake right there in your face, hoping to see you fall. But with Kyrie Irving, let's go in and help him, man. We support you. Riches are good unto him that hath no sin, and poverty is evil in the mouth of the ungodly. The heart of a man changeth his countenance, whether it be for good or for evil, and a merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance, man. All right. So yeah, man. All I see is a bunch of people folding and breaking like some damn Twizzlers. People, houses falling down like a deck of cards in a hurricane. People like Kyrie Irving and all them, man, they falling quick, man. As soon as they say something to them, they just break. I apologize, I'm sorry. Kanye West, man, he got some cojones. He's standing on his toes. And he's starting his own, you know. Esau gotta do weird shit. Fuck you. He's just weird. Jeremiah 5 and 26. This is Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 26. For among my people are found wicked men. See? Even the ones that claim to be in the truth, man. They still being wicked. Alright? So among the Lord's people are found wicked men. Kyrie, Irving, and them wicked. They're not in the truth. So what, man? You know, you can like them as a person all you want, as a character, as a brand, as a team, as a talent, or as a millionaire, or as a socialist, you know, because he gives to charity a lot, but he's still wicked. Still don't matter, man. There's a lot of people like that in the world, even Edomites. All right, Jeremiah 5 and 26. For among my people I found wicked men, they lay wait, as he that setteth snares, they set a trap, they catch men. That's why you got all these men in that congregation. As a cage full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. All right, so their little temples, their churches, like Iuic, Israelites United in Christos. They're full of deceit, full of lies, full of falsehoods. Therefore, they are become great and waxing rich. That's why they become great in numbers of members, and they've waxing rich because of that. They're full of deceit. You see that? All right. As a cage, it says here. Okay, so they are waxing fat, and fat means just increasing in riches or wealth or numbers of people or land or buildings. Record labels, Iuic got record labels. You know, people forget that, man. When they see them do stuff like this, oh, hey, you seen Iuic marching the other day? We almost out of here. It's like, you know, that ain't mean nothing, man. All right. If anything, gonna make them a target. They are waxing fat, they shine. Yea, they overpass the deeds of the wicked. They judge not the cause of the fatherless, yet they prosper. See that? They're not coming out correctly in judgment. They're being respective persons in judgment. They're not teaching the proper doctrine, but instead, yet they prosper. And the right of the needy do they not judge, man. See that? They're not judging correctly of the spiritual needy, not, you know, poor people or, you know. Shall I not visit these things, saith Yahweh? Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this, man? So the Lord ain't with that, man. Regardless how they feel, they could be mad at the messenger, mad at brothers trying to warn them, like, y'all haters. Now, I ain't got nothing to do with that. It's just, I'm not falling for it. I wasn't impressed. It was still good to see, because that's what we want, brothers to wake up, but they waking up to more lies. It's like stillborns, half born, or coming out feet first out of the womb. You know, it's a chance of them suffocating. They being born, they know they're Israelites again, but they have no breath. All right. Matthew 7 and 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate. See, the Lord said you got to go through the affliction. You got to go through the persecution. Being persecuted. See? What's his name? Kyrie, Irving. They're not willing to go through that persecution. Kanye West, he is. Can't front. But that persecution, man. Throw away the 501c3 charter. See what happened then. Iuic. Everybody should have got one. No, we shouldn't. enter ye in at the straight gate. You can get a non-profit organization for something else, but not with this truth, man. The government should have nothing to do with it. This is straight from Yahushua, man. He said the government's gonna be upon his shoulders. Supposed to be speaking his name. As soon as you get in front of that camera, Yahushua sent me. Ooh, somebody say that. That's like when the hyena said Mufasa, Mufasa. You say Mufasa, they started shaking. It says, enter ye in at the straight gate into the kingdom, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be that go in thereat. That's why it's more. There's many of them. Look how many of them. It was thousands of them marching. But you ask them all the Lord's name, they don't know it. Or some of them will say the Lord's name, some won't. That's confusion. You ask them what the MOTB is, what's the Revelation 13:16? They don't know. It says it's Christ. Or it says the belief in Cesare Borgia. But same name, you know, Christos. It's confusion, man. And people are waking up to it. People are waking up to it on all corners, man. Even when people are waking up to Esau's lies, people are waking up to Jake's bullshit, and people are waking up to these false camps, man. They see it. All right. Matthew 7:14. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it, man. That's why the Lord said, the wise man's words are heard in quiet, and few are going to find the straight gate. All right? Not many, few. Beware of false prophets. So there's no false prophets out here. Listen, somebody fucking false, excuse my language, gotta be, all these people out here teaching. Some false prophets out here somewhere. The word prophet goes into prophesying, saying before, to say before. Fasai, or pre means before, fasai means to say. And they're not teaching the proper doctrine or warning the people with the proper vibration that the Lord told us to play in his orchestra. They playing out of tune. But it's a lot of them playing out of tune. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, showing up like the Israelites. You know, showing up not only Israelites, but men of the Lord. All right, like they're the Lord's sheep when they're not. But inwardly, they are ravening wolves, man, especially these people in these churches, these Christians, these Muslims, these entertainers, and these false camps like Iuic that'll rip you away from your salvation, man. All right? Yea, ye shall know them by their fruits, man. That's the way to see them, man. Not what they're saying. Not the smear campaign they try to do. I don't know what you're talking about. The diversions, all of that. The pity parties. Don't talk about what's his name? Nate the snake, because he was sick and all that. Deacon Asaph was coming out saying it. Don't talk about him like that. Well, the Lord said, what? You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles, man? Look at this guy. Look at him. You see him on there? Where's he at? Right there. You can't see him. That's Mr. Yo Play Yogurt right here. That's the one that said, he said, you can call the Lord anything. You can call him Yo Play Yogurt. He became a stalker on people's pages and shit. A mocker, a scoffer, an agent. All right. Let's keep going. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. And that's the point, man. The good tree, a good foundation. He said the leaves are going to be for the healing of the nation. They're supposed to have good fruit. All right, they're good fruit. You know, good meaning the good news, the righteous, the gospel, the doctrine. All right. So he said, good tree bringeth forth what? Good fruit. But a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. All right. So a corrupt tree, they've been corrupted. It's going to bring forth evil fruit, man. Or bad fruit. But they brought forth, it's a lot of them, but it's still bad fruit, man. You talk to each one of them, they're going to spit you some false doctrine. Somewhere. Ask them when the Sabbath is. Ask them when the new moon, they're going to say it's a full moon. Iuic. Ask them the Lord's name, they're going to say Christ, or nobody knows his name. Then someone might say Yahushua. You ask them about Revelation 13:16, they're going to say it's Christianity. That's bad fruit. That's bad fruit. It's off, man. All right. So they're a bunch of dead trees out there. That's what they are. Wherefore, by their fruits ye shall know them. See, the Lord telling us, man, don't be deceived. Be circumspect. By their fruits you're going to know them. Not by their numbers. Not by their garments or by their schools that they got. Not by their egos. Gorilla Hebrew. What's his name? Bishop Nathaniel. You know, we got bishops. Yeah, bishop is like a delegate. But, you know, they be like, stand up for the bishop. And then he walk into the room. Bishop on deck? That's a little much, man. General Yohana? See all these egos. The Lord said, nah, you're going to know them by their fruit, man. Don't be blinded by that. By them shiny garments. Wherefore, by their fruits ye shall know them. Period. If you're men of the Lord or not. All right. It says here, not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. Just because they out there screaming out, they're Israelites calling on the Lord, and some not even know the Lord's name. They're not teaching the right doctrine like Iuic. They know the Lord's name, but they're not warning the people. You see that? Iuic, they know the Lord's name, but they cast it away. And they pick up the sand instead, and they build a house upon that. All right? But he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven, that's the one that's going to enter in, man. To do the Father's will, not what man is doing, not following after Nate, but following after the will of our Father, man. And that's teaching them what? The truth. He says, seeketh such to worship him, man, in spirit and in truth. That's what we got to deal with, the truth. What is the Lord's name? What is his son's name if thou canst tell? And then behind that, what are the prophecies that the Lord came to warn us about and give us straight command what we should speak? Not everyone that's, verse 22, many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils? And in thy name done many wonderful works? All right. But it says here, and then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity, man. They work in wickedness. They going out there saying, hey, we prophesied in your name, but the Lord said, you're no longer going to call him Ba'ali, man. You're going to call, or Ba'alim, which is these idols. You're going to call him by Ishi, meaning we know who our husbandman is. It's Yahushua. You know? They ain't supposed to be doing it correctly. The work. Instead, if not, that means they work in iniquity. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man that built his house upon a rock, man. See? How can Kyrie Irving build his house upon a rock when he's not? He said, how can you be taught? How can you hear except the Lord send you a preacher? How shall they teach or preach except they be sent, man? So how is anybody going to stand on anything? They're not going to be able to stand correctly. They're going to fall at some point. Maybe in the race wars when that happens, according to the scriptures. But they ain't going to be able to stand, man. The winds are blowing and Esau is going against them. Jake going to fold at some point. They're going to lose faith. Look at these Christian churches during the lockdowns. Look what happened with them. They start losing their money. Look how fast they lost faith. It's just nonsense, man. It's a show. I don't mind seeing it, but it's a shit show at the same time. Not impressed, man. The rain descended, and the floods came, and the wind blew. See, the rain is descending. The floods are coming, especially with these heathens. Flood of lies, flood of attacks. Especially martial law and the New World Order. It said the winds blew. What's that? The destruction. And it says what? Right. It says here, and it fell not. That's talking about the man that's doing the will of the Father. For it was founded upon a rock. See that? You put one of the men of the Lord in front of that screen, truth coming out. Period. We want to walk away from it all, put it out there. That way, like, yo, keep them off the media, keep them out of YouTube, keep them out of news people will be out there and they go right around us. They'll get us on there. And every one that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. So Iuic is built upon the sand. They built upon Christ. That, and deceit and false doctrine. Kyrie Irving, his is built upon sand, Islam, money. So yeah, man. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. So that's what we about to see. Though they're great in number, it's going to be a great fall if they don't repent. Or the Lord might use them in the race war, and then the Lord destroy them in the end. He said, to what end is it for you, man, that's desiring the day of the Lord, man? That's not desiring it correctly. All right, this is 1 Corinthians 10 and 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud, man. They're talking about when we came out of Egypt. We were under the chariots, all right, coming out of Egypt. And all passed through the sea, all right? And were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea. Baptized meaning like born again, begotten, or being fully submerged or washed, all right? Made new, refreshed. And did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Yahushua. So when he say it got to be founded upon a rock, it got to be founded upon Yahushua, man. That's what you start your foundation with. All right, the cornerstone. And they're not doing that. They're showing up with everything else instead of the cornerstone. How can you leave him out? Yeah, they're Christ. And this Christ, the laws. What about Yahushua, man? This dude, Nate, their leader, used to teach the name of Yahushua. You imagine that spirit was on these brothers? This don't make sense, man. So the scriptures say, man, what? They do this to be seen of men. That's all this was about. All right. This is Romans 9:30. What shall we say then? That the Gentiles which followed not after righteousness, talking about Jake, that's in the NBA, that don't know the Israelites, that's not following after righteousness, which is the laws, and also today would be the spirit of truth and the laws. The ones that are in this world, they're still Gentiles. All right, Gentiles just means nations or, somebody that's born in that another land, speaking another language, following different customs other than Israelite customs and beliefs. Basically pagans. That's what they are. Celebrating Halloween, Christmas, and all that. Kanye West, yeah, we're gonna have a great. I don't think they're gonna have a great Thanksgiving this year or a great Christmas, but I am. That was Kanye West. See that? So it says, what say ye then? What will we say then? That the Gentiles which followed not after righteousness have attained to righteousness, even the righteousness which is of faith, man. So they got a chance, but they got to be of faith, not of the laws, man. You can't go up to them and say, hey, man, keep the laws. Yeah, you can say that, but the main thing is, like, whose laws? Yahushua. The laws are beautiful. The laws are perfect. They come from the Father. They come from the Lord. But he gave us another way that's even greater. And that's through Yahushua. That'll help us, our nation, become perfect. The laws can't do that. Look at Iuic. They claim to be keeping it perfect, and look at that. Look at them. All right. Even us, we stumble from time to time. We try our best to keep the laws perfectly, to the best of our ability, and that's what you're supposed to say. The Lord has counted us all under sin. So who is the greater? The ones that's keeping the laws or the ones that are not? In this case, it would be neither, because all have been counted under sin. So we have someone that brings us into that righteousness, and his name is Yahushua, all right, the son of Yahweh. So it says here, but Israel, which followed after the law of righteousness, have not attained to the law of righteousness, right? Like the circumcision. The ones that know the Israelites, that claim to be all about the law, they're never going to attain unto that, man, to have it perfectly. So they have not attained unto that. It says here, it says, but Israel, which followed after the law of righteousness, have not attained to the law of righteousness. Wherefore? Because they sought it not by faith. See that? So you got to, Iuic supposed to be teaching these people about Yahushua, the faith in the Lord, and the laws. But our deliverance, our salvation, our fight, our power comes from the Lord. Our righteousness comes from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And if they would seek the laws that way, instead of seeking the law through the Pharisees, instead seek the laws through Yahushua, we'll be perfect in faith. Keeping the laws to the best of our ability, loving the laws, watching the laws, learning the laws, living in the laws, making it our lifestyle. But to keep the laws only and disregard Yahushua, that's damnation. Period, man. Congregation of the dead. Without light, because Yahushua is the light that lighteth all men. Without him, we have no light. All right? Wherefore, because they sought it not by faith. See, they're not seeking the kingdom or the laws by faith, but as it were by the works of the law. See, they trying to seek salvation by the works of the law. For they stumbled at the stumbling stone, man. There's a bunch of people behind one person, and that first person fall, everybody else falling with them. You might have a few of them standing up. As it is written, behold, I lay in Zion a stumbling stone, a rock of offense. That's that rock that they have not built their church upon, that they are not trying to build others upon. Instead, they're going around with a sandbox saying, hey, you stand on this, you're going to be safe. Your house won't fall. And whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed, man. All right, so Iuic going to be ashamed, man. You know? And what's his name? Kyrie, Irving, and all them, they're going to be ashamed if they don't repent and listen and stand up and fight and stop trimming their ways. The more they trim their ways, the Lord not going to deal with them. He said, those that come to the Lord, they must believe that he is first. And they don't believe. They out there like, yeah, what's his name? Kanye getting close, though. He said Yeshua the other day. So he getting there, you know. He hopefully he dropped that name, Jesus. But he said Christ at the end, just like Iuic. There's no E's and no U's in the original Hebrew, so his name is not Yeshua. Christ goes back to Krishna, and in the Hebrew, in the English, it would be Mashiach. So you don't need to say Krishna or Christ. It would be Hamashiach, meaning the Savior, the Anointed. All right. So I'm at the there, man. These are my thoughts. I got many more dealing with this topic, but I just wasn't impressed. All I saw was more evidence that they represent those ancient scribes and Pharisees that turned against the Lord. All right. And I believe that they have some of the elect in their camps. But them marching around the Barkley's Center, it was not Jericho. That don't mean we getting delivered because they did it. They showing support and solidarity to Kyrie Irving when he didn't want their support. It was just a show. And scriptures say they do their works to be seen in the sight of men, man. All right. So with that, I'm going to say, hey, shalom.